Hello everyone! Today we are at the legendary Green School Bali. This school was opened in 2008 and it still exists in its amazing ecological sustainable appearance. So let's just go on a tour and see what's there inside. We start at the point where one of the maybe most important things happens. So this is the structure and the hut. Inside of it, there is a tank for the water filtration. And it is an amazing thing that everyone who lives here, not only the school locals, but also the residents, they come and they can grab a water. And this is one of the sustainable things that happens in the school. So let's move on and see what else. Almost all of I would say all of the structures here in the Green School are made out of bamboo. And the bamboo is treated in a very special way, so it lasts for years. And it is treated in a way that it stops containing the bigger amount of sugar that it has in it. So all the things like the insects and stuff will live in it. And then here you can see that the roof of this particular science block is made out of straw. It makes an amazing landscape, even from the visual part. But also when you touch it, it's kind of very soft. But surprisingly, it contains the rain and doesn't let it in. And the way it is made, it's a really kind of a traditional art thing, I would say. The food wasting is one of the problems that all the schools all around the world are facing today. And what do you think will be the sustainable decision for such a problem in the Green School Bali? It is something that you might not expect. Actually, they use the black pigs for eating the waste that is left after the children left the canteen. The amazing thing is that they don't let the children to eat the whole thing that they have, because I met some schools where the children, they were really stressed that they have to eat everything that they occasionally put on their plate, and sometimes they just put a little bit more that they can actually eat. But here, no stress. They have a pig, which is very friendly. They can actually even, it's not for the play, if you mean education, but you can feed it. The staff collects the waste and the uneaten food and then bring it to the pigs. Also, the kids can collect the waste and bring it themselves. I think that's an amazing decision. Now we're at the science block. Look at this amazing bamboo structure. I believe that this is the heart of the school where the science happens. Here we have the laminar airflow thing, the structure where the laminars and the mushrooms are being grown in a very sterile and special environment. And then when these mushrooms are done, they're compressed and you can actually make a project-based learning thing with this. Kids at this very particular specific place, they can, for example, use the mushrooms to make a kind of a leather-like materials and make amazing hats and stuff like this. But also, you can see this. This is a thing that reminds us a Lego blocks, something that you can play with. But interesting things that this, for example, prototype crashes a little bit. You can see that it's not stable at some parts. And this is also the part of the learning process, when the children and the students, they understand that something went wrong and they have to fix it and they have to figure it out, how to make the proper material, to make the proper thing and make it work out. The school pays a very high attention to the local Balinese culture. Guess where we are? This is the pit for the traditional Balinese activity, which is called a mud wrestling. Okay, it is not a sport, it is actually a kind of ritual, a kind of the activity which you made for maybe a graduation party, or just if it's the exam was really stressful, you just can go there and have wrestling. Also the teachers, they can do that, and even the smallest and the youngest kids, they do the Balinese wrestling, having fun with the mud and with the water. And here we have a garden, but the thing is that the Green School is the whole, the garden as a whole territory. But some places, they are specifically made to grow, for example, the pepper like here. And then this pepper goes to the canteen and to the cafeterias, and children, they just learn how to cook, how to use it in a way, in a daily food routine. So this is one of the architecture gaps of the school territory. This is the amazing bridge, which is the kind of the engineering idea and engineering solution to make it possible for the residents who are living on the other part of the river to come to the school and to source the gardens and to take the water. Also, though this structure looks a little bit kind of dangerous, here you can jump in maybe when you're 10 people, 20 people gathering here, and you'll be safe. We just checked that and it worked, and we are safe. This is a crystal, and this is a very, very symbolic thing. First of all, it is a kind of a spiritual thing that cleans the energy around the school. And children, they can come here to this place also to have the classrooms, to study, to chat, to have a group works. And at the same time, it is a symbol of the school being so stable and lasting over the years. Because, when the school was opened, 16 years ago, lots of people, they said, okay, this thing will not gonna last 5 years. But the founders of the school, John Hardy and Cynthia Hardy, they were of the other opinion. And they made a bet that if the school will last more than 5, 6, years, they will make something symbolic. And the bet, it was won, and the friend of the family, he brought the crystal here and installed it in a kind of the way that the school will last for years. And we can see on the top of the crystal, it's much more bigger than we can see, and some other part of it is underneath the ground. And also you can notice that there is an interesting thing, which is very Balinese traditional stuff. It is donation to nature. And we are now at a place which is dedicated to nature at its most, and where the children can actually be at nature. You can also notice that we can't see the arranged roads here, like the ground we stand on, it's wet, and you can see the insects and some stuff thrown around. And it is also the idea that even the paths and the roads that children are walking, they are supernatural, and they can feel their balance, they can feel the way that they walk around it, not looking at the smartphones because it's dangerous, but just being in their thoughts and the ideas about what they do here. And actually my shoes are the worst thing that I could choose for being here.